I did that exact presentation to Tony about 2.5 hours ago. I couldn't believe it. He was just getting off his boat and getting in his car. He said, got it. He said, I and my team can live with that. Okay, that's the good news. Hope you like it. Hope we've got some way to go forward with this, because now I have to share with you what's actually going to happen on Thursday. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that yes, I know, Derek. Just stop it. Okay, I'm coming to that. What's happening to okay. And I'll just give it to you straight. 9M have found themselves almost on the edge of bankruptcy. They're not quite there yet. I checked their wallet. They've got about $2 million left. They have lost an absolute fortune. So this is not an excuse. I'm giving you the facts, and I'm going to tell you what they're doing about it. They lost a fortune because right from the word go, any stake that was less than 360 days that has matured was still paying out the money, even though the money for that stake had been returned, quite rightly, to the person's wallet. So if you imagine somebody starting on the 25th of May, when I started, and putting in $1,000 and being paid whatever the percentage was at that date for 30 days, and then getting the $1,000 back. And then for the rest of the time, being paid the percentage on that stake, okay? And then the upline being paid the rewards on that stake, multiplied by 240,000 people and spotted 4 weeks ago by a very lucky turn of events when a lady in the Pinnacle group had one person in her team in India who had decided to take out one stake to test 9M, had staked for 30 days, had redeemed the stake, and rang this lady up about 3 days later, said, I was thinking of restaking, but hardly seems necessary now because I'm still earning the income. And they looked at the screen, they found out what was going on there. Because the reason that the company didn't see it, yes, I know it's well worth crying over. The reason the company couldn't see it is all of us, or most of us, have multiple stakes. That's one thing. The second thing is in this team, 93% of us were staking for 360 days, so not one of our stakes had expired. Maybe a few here and there. And I went back and happened to check. Some of the stakes that I had, when I first started, I didn't understand which stake I should have. And I put a 90-day stake in and a 180-day, but all my others are 360. And guess what? The 90 and the 180 had paid and continued to pay out. So 9M couldn't understand why their balance sheet was never in the positive, never understand why it was plus. It got worse and worse and worse. And when they found this thing, they tried everything they could. They really did. And you know they did, because they tried to keep withdrawals open. They limited all of us. They said we could have up to $500 a day. That didn't affect too many people. But they were trying to put this all together. And I think they realized about a couple of weeks ago that none of this was going to work. And they simply stopped the withdrawals, as all of you know. And the number one question that I've been getting from everybody is, when will they open withdrawals? And the number two question I've been getting from everybody was, surely if our money, which is invested in 9M, is there, Novamind should be producing that amount of money every single day and should be able to cover the withdrawals. The fact of the matter is the money is not there. Novamind doesn't have it to trade with because it's been being drained from the system for such a long time. I've seen the wallet myself with my own eyes. James Lee showed me how to get that today. And we're facing a situation where 9M was looking at the abyss. And this is what I want to share with you. I said it at the beginning, and I'm going to say it again. There was such an overriding desire by everybody to keep the community going. The 9M have been working tirelessly. Last time I spoke to Joanne, she hadn't slept for 32 hours. They've been working tirelessly to see if they can find any kind of reasonable or acceptable solution. And in this, I've been joined by Colin, who's been with me on all of these calls because of his superior knowledge. And I might ask him to say a few words about this in a few minutes. But the end result was the the 9M AI that we had is no longer viable. It's not bankrupt, it's not gone, it's not disappeared, but it's no longer viable. Let's get that absolutely clear. The stakes and the assets that you will have had, which will stem from $100 or $200 for people that were very small, very new, to people like, who had, like me, $9.35 million staked in the team. All of that has had a line written underneath it. It's just not there. Those earnings, those daily earnings that we came so used to, the 0.72% a day, that could be simply exchanged for USDT and taken out, it will just simply not happen. So what is going to happen on Thursday? Well, on Thursday, and this is again a deadline that I hope will be confirmed very soon, 9MEX will be launched with its new product and the opportunity that you seem to like for new people. So what do you get? Because that is the $64,000 question. Well, the answer is whatever assets you have in 9M, all of them are going to be converted into 9MC. Okay, they're all going to be converted into 9MC. And when you first get that asset, let me share with you right away, you're probably going to think, when I tell you what you can and can't do with 9MC, you're probably going to think, well, this is paper money, this is monopoly money, it's useless to me, it's worthless. And I wouldn't blame you at all if that was your first thought, because it was honestly mine as well. But what 9M have been doing for the last 5 or 6 days is trying to add a value to 9MC so that as 9MEX progresses, then your 9MC becomes more and more valuable. So there are going to be a number of ways that 9MC can be used. First of all, you will all have it, all of you. So it'll just be sitting there as an asset in your system. What will happen is if you choose to stake yourself into the new company, bearing in mind that all your stakes are now sitting in this 9MC coin, which can't, by the way, be withdrawn. It can't be converted into anything else. If you decide to stake or in the new company, you, of course, will be allowed to use 10% of any stake in the new company. So you can stake for 360 days, 90, 10, you'll be able to use yours. Where it starts getting interesting is where 9MC begins to be used more and more widely, because now nothing in 9MEX is going to work without it. There's a finite amount which is available, and that is the sum total of the assets in people's accounts, all 240,000 of them, converted into 9MC, and that's it. That's the sum total. And every single person who stakes and every single person who withdraws is going to need 9MC to be able to do that. Consequently, every new person that comes in, we who have maybe a lot of 9MCs, but will be able to perhaps say, gift them the 10% to make, if they want to put in $1,000, we can say, okay, well, I've got $100 worth of 9MC. You're very welcome to have it. And that means you only have to put in $900. 9MC will be transferable between all accounts within 9M. So a new person will have no access to 9MC. They'll never get it. They'll never earn it. They'll never own it. So they want to stake, we could help them. And if they want to withdraw, well, then they're going to need to get hold of some 9MC. As they want to take $1,000 out, it's going to cost them $100 worth of 9MC. So those who are holding it will be asked, well, can I send you $100 and you can give me your 9MC? Now, where this gets slightly more interesting, and this is where you have to open your mind, because it took me a little bit of time to open mine, is it is the opinion of the the owners or whoever they are, the managers, the main management of um, of the company, that because everybody wants to build going forward and people will want the new product, they think that the entire worldwide stock of 9MC is going to be disappearing within a year. They actually think it'll be shorter than that, but I want to err on the side of caution here. So what does that mean? Well, it means this. Let's say Team Tony, which is what we're talking to today, with its 11,000 people and its 90, whatever it was, whatever the figures, I can't even remember, $9.35 million worth of staking. Let's say Team Tony decides, nah, we're not going to do this. Had it, they've let us down. Bye-bye 9M, but you're all going to be sitting there with accounts with 9MC in it. And let's say the Indian team, who I already know, are going after this like Billio. They are going to build teams. They're going to, they're going to regroup. They're going to rebuild. Every one of their every one of their existing people is being encouraged to put at least $100 in, if only to make their account active, right? But they're going to go after this, and they're also going to be obviously selling the new product and saying, this is 1% a day, and you get to be able to keep and take out 0.5%, blah, 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 all the rest of it. And here's the 9MC, here's the 9MC. The Indian team will eventually exhaust their own personal supply of 9MC. But that means they've got to get it from somewhere for all the other new people that are going in there. And the entire existing 240,000 people in 9M will have an equal opportunity to supply their 9MC. So one way or another, if we did absolutely nothing, it is my earnest hope within a year, every bit of your 9MC, the value of the portfolio you hold at the moment, will come back to you by people who are building the teams. I would like to think that we aren't going to sit back and say, well, bye-bye 9M, but I recognize that decision belongs to each and every one of you. I've made my decision, and I know that there's a number of people that I've spoken to today, and I'm sure many of you are in the same boat because your withdrawals have been on hold. I'm sure that many of you have been chatting about 9M, have got people who are interested in 9M, people who want to start in 9M, but you've been a little bit tentative about mentioning it because yours truly did actually say to everyone, until this is resolved, I wouldn't be bringing brand new people into 9M and asking them to stake into the company, knowing that there was no withdrawal mechanism. So I know that hundreds of you, maybe more, have people waiting to hear about this. I myself, well, Paul looks really angry, but there you go. I have people in Brazil at the moment, about 7 of them, all waiting to know a little bit more. Now I've got a product I can share with them. I'll certainly do that. But that 9MC is going to be the sum total of whatever your portfolios are worth. Yes, okay. Whatever your portfolios are worth, that is what's coming back to you. That is what you will see when you open your 9M app on Thursday morning. And I'm not here to say that's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not here necessarily to be pilloried by all of you for having promoted a company that has been absolutely beautiful for the last 7.5 months, has made everybody money in the last 7.5 months who's been in it, has had smiling faces for 7.5 months. It's all very easy to be happy and jolly when things are going right, but things have gone wrong. So we are going to be either investor-minded and mature about this, or we're going to have a bunch of people who want to vent their spleen and their fury, and you can direct it in any direction you like. If you want to do it at me or Maxine or any of the people that have served you for the last 8 months, you can do that. But the last point I want to make, and this is the one that drives me on, is, and something that Mary Tan said to Colin and I this afternoon, it is only by keeping the community together that we can all make this work. Doesn't matter if it's a little bit here or a little bit there or a lot here or a lot there. If the community stays together, 9M stays together. If the community doesn't, then 9M doesn't. So at the end of the day, the choice is yours. You will have a value which will not seem very much when you get it. It will grow over time because of the community spirit that's out there. I believe in many ways, something Joanne said this afternoon, that the academy has been responsible for creating that camaraderie that exists, and the academy is continuing with information, knowledge, M100 courses, everything else like that to advise you about the future. This is a rude shock, but I'd sooner you got it now than you got it on Thursday morning and didn't know what the hell was going on. So that, my friends, is as good as I can give you at the moment. I know a lot of you are going to have questions. I can see Jana's hands already. Before I take any questions at all, I am going to ask Colin, who's been with me through all of this, if there's anything he'd like to add to that. Colin, are you sort of around still?
Yeah, I'm here, mate. I'm here.
There you are. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, well, there's a couple of points I'd add to that. Firstly, all our ranks stay the same. That hasn't been mentioned. Wherever rank you are, VIP 1, VIP 2, 3, 4, 5, they all stay the same. 9MC, that token, has a chance to go actually really high. So we all get that asset. If you've got a big account of 5K, 10K, wherever it is, you'll have 5, 10K worth of 9MC. We will have a way to actually turn that 9MC into cash very quickly from when we open. That 90 and 10, 50% we can withdraw straight away. So we're going to be able to earn straight away, which is going to be important for a lot of people. As Tony says, it's very different the way that they've acted here. They have been working really, really hard to find a solution. They're still working hard to find a solution. They're still going to fine tune this. And as I said to Tony today as well, the product is only the first part of everything that's going on here. The product, which is the ROI, the return of interest product, they need to improve it. The first 8 months has been on the ROI product. They now need to improve that. 1% today that we earn, we're getting 50% straight away. The other 50% is ours still, by the way, but it's locked away and it's making 0.2. So we get the whole lot. We get that whole 1%. So when you think about that for a second, actually, there's quite a bit of money there. What else was I going to say? So yeah, so we get that 1%. Oh yeah. So the product is the ROI. That's part of it. But the real biggie is the EPP, the ecosystem, the card, the exchange. That's actually a whole lot bigger than the ROI. I know that we're all interested in ROI. I want to be able to withdraw. We will be come Thursday. Once we start, we will be able to withdraw again. That's quite clear. You can see that on the presentation. 0.5% today. You can withdraw your earnings every single day. So we will build up again to where we need to be. So we don't own the company. We have to watch what they do. All we can do is speak to them as often as we can to make sure they're going down the right way that we want them to go. I'm fairly confident with what they're doing. In fact, I am confident with what they're doing. I just need to hear some more details about the back end, what happens with that smart wallet, because it's growing by 0.2% every day. We can't get to those rewards until it's completed. It's locked in a DAO, which is a decentralized autonomous organization. So it means that later on, if the value of 9M goes up, the value of our asset in that DAO also goes up. So it does get kind of complicated to learn the back end of what's going to happen. But if you understand the decentralization side of things, you'll see where that's going. But the product side, the ROI, is a small side of the whole deal we've got here. Just keep remembering that. Sit back and watch to see how this develops. Don't make any rash decisions on anything. That's what I say. I'm always, as Tony says, you know me, what I'm like. I'll sit back and I'll try and digest everything to see, well, where are they going? What's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? How are they going to get this machine kicking again? If they do get it kicking again, and it looks like they actually will, we all own 9MC. That's valuable. And if you're thinking, I've had enough of this, I'll have your 9MC. You can give it to me. I'll do something with it. So what else can I say? There's nothing else I can really say. Tony said quite a lot there already. We were going to get more details over the next coming days. So just relax, watch how the developments come out. What's clear is that Tony will make sure that everybody has the information as fast as we can get it to you. So we are ready for the next step going forward. Oh, and if you don't want to go forward, they're going to have an answer for that as well, because obviously we've all got assets in here. So if you think, oh, I had enough of this, I don't want to do it no more, you still own an asset in 9M. So they're going to have a solution for that side as well. So we'll see how that develops. All right. So it's not the end, basically. There will be solutions on all aspects of this. Whether you're brand new as an investor as well, there's going to be a solution for you guys as well, because many people following our system, our strategy, have not withdrawn. You just building your accounts, building your accounts. I'm happy to tell you there's a solution for you as well. All right, so you're going to hear that. So all is not lost at all.